next week in Victoria, the Country Fire Authority's career staff will be merged with the Metropolitan Fire Brigade to form a new service. They'll call it Fire Rescue Victoria. But what happens to the state's 54,000 strong volunteer firefighters in all of this? What happens when the merger goes ahead, and is it what Daniel Andrews promised when he first took on this fight with volunteers to advance the cause of the union-strong Metropolitan Fire Brigade? Well, Samantha Rothman is a volunteer firefighter. She's also the Vice President of the Volunteer Fire Brigades Victoria. She joins me tonight now from Maryborough. Samantha, what are your concerns? What are the concerns of Volunteer Fire Brigades Victoria from here?
Thank you, Peter, for having me on tonight. I'd have to say there's a number of concerns of volunteers across the state. So at the moment, we're really hurt and disappointed by the broken promises that have been made by the government at the moment. We've tried to highlight the issues that were actually going to be impactful for us. In particular, one of the broken promises includes the secondment model. So the government promised that we would not have any, industrial issues as a result of this reform. And what's actually come out very recently is that we will still have industrial issues through the EBA, through the secondment model, which still hasn't been finalised. And in particular, July 1st is coming up extremely quickly. And like you mentioned, Peter, we're talking about 54,000 volunteers in the community at the moment who have no idea what's about to happen from July 1st. They give up their time to train and to protect our communities. And at the moment, none of their requests for consultation have been considered at all.
Look, I find this extraordinary, Samantha. I mean, this was such an election issue, even in the federal election back in 2016. I think all Victorians were behind you. People can see right around the country how much Victoria's had to deal with firefighting in recent years. This current fire season, of course, but 2009 and Black Saturday and other things. So you are needed more than ever. So why has this fight come back? And why aren't the government, or isn't the government, honouring the commitments it made to you?
To be honest, I don't know why the government are not honouring their commitments. Some of the commitments that they made were to consult with the volunteers during this process, and I have to say that has not happened at all. Lisa Neville, the Minister Lisa Neville, has openly stated that work has gone. 54 meetings across the state have taken place for consultation. Those meetings actually occurred with the integrated and surrounding stations. What actually occurred at those meetings was volunteers came along, asked numerous questions about what was actually going to take place as part of the reform, to actually have no answers given to them at any of those meetings. And even since then, our answers actually haven't been, we've got no answers from the government, basically.
Yeah, look, that's a political tactic, to have a whole bunch of meetings to drag you all in, and for the government or the officials to just talk at you. You ask questions, they all say, we'll go away and come back with answers, and never come back. And then I push her and say, Lisa Neville, where's your consultation? She can say, well, we've had all of these meetings, but you know and I know there's been no outcomes. What's going to happen from here? Because this deadline's looming.
To be honest, we don't know. And that's part of the concern for volunteers across the state. We actually don't know what the impacts of this reform is going to happen. So we don't know where we stand. There's such a lack of communication from the government. Their process has been appalling, to be honest. And volunteers are just dumbfounded that we're not considered. We don't feel respected. We don't feel like we've been given any say whatsoever in the decision making of how this is going to work. And we're expected to work alongside FRV as of July 1, just like now.
Just quickly before we go, where can people go to show their support? Is there any way they can signal to the government that they're behind you?
Oh, definitely. And we'd love any support that the community want to offer. So if you can possibly either visit an MP or send off an email to MPs raising your concerns, asking why the government are not supporting CFA volunteers. And also, go to your local fire brigade, find out how they're travelling in this situation and what they may be doing to highlight their issues for their brigade in their area. And of course, you can access the Volunteer Fire Brigades Victoria website, vfbv.com.au, for the latest information as well.
All right, Samantha and Rothman, good luck with your fight. Keep it up. We're behind you. I'll put all that detail up on my Facebook page, and I'll chase the opposition tomorrow night to see what their position is in terms of support. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.